Hey everybody, we're about to start this newest episode with Levy. Levy, and you got to stick around for this entire episode because it gets really fucking cool at the end. This dude's a psychopath. The way he listen to the show. He's done some amazing things. Best way to support the show, go to our website, JimandEddieTalkShit.com, and buy a package. The money that you spend goes to helping the show with all the things we buy, bandwidth, computers, missiles, grenades. We're stocking up right now. We have an armory here and we're planning on taking over the world. So your donation money goes to that. Also, what you get from that, you get DVDs, t-shirts, all stuff like that. So you get that, we get guns. So please go to our website, JimandEddieTalkShit.com. I don't like begging for money, and it's not really begging because you're getting a lot of good stuff. So JimandEddieTalkShit.com. Come see Jim and I live at our shows. Where you just go to our websites, JimJeffries.com or EddieIf.com. Go to our Facebook page, like our Facebook, comment on our Facebook, comment on our iTunes, and just keep doing all this shit. You guys are good. We appreciate it. Now for this episode.
Two douchebags on a couch. One's an asshole, one's a grouch. And relentless, all their mouths. Jim and Eddie talk shit. Jim and Eddie talk shit.
Welcome to Talking Shit with Jim Jeffries and Eddie Ift. I am the second one.
Hello.
I never know how to say that latter and former thing. Whenever some people go, I am the latter, I'm the former.
I'm bad with post. Is post before or after?
After.
After. I get that one mixed up all the time.
Post is...
They go, oh, we're going to have a post game. So, do I go before the game?
Latter and former are terrible. And people, like when I read it in something and it goes, and that is the latter. And I'm like, now I got to figure this out.
What about the aforementioned? That's tough.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Latter is second. And aforementioned.
I don't know all the
Former
theirs. All the theirs fucked me up.
No, I can't spell any of them.
There, and there.
Yeah.
The one that people get on Twitter all the time is you and you are and your.
Yeah, I don't even fucking bother with that one. I just put your, and people get angry. But people know now if you correct my spelling on Twitter, blocked. That's the thing. You can say anything you do that on a comedy. I went on a rampage once. I said the next person to correct my spelling gets blocked, and I made sure there were spelling mistakes all through that shit, right? I made sure there was no punctuation, nothing. And then they all thought they were smart and went, didn't you mean to say that? Blocked!
There's fun. Our guest tonight is Levy, a good friend of mine from stand-up and good friend. I met him through Arj Barker.
That's right. In fact, I used to live 3 blocks from here with Arj Barker. We moved down here together.
And that was in the place.
So let me get this right. You've witnessed more rape than any man should ever do.
Have there been accusations?
I've just made one.
Well, now I know why it's called...
Arj would get so upset by that.
Now I know why it's called Talking Shit. I like it.
Yeah, we just fuck her up. But Arj has been sending me pictures on WhatsApp. He uses WhatsApp all the time, and he sends me pictures of him hang gliding. That's his new sport. Right. And I don't know if it's really him or somebody. Knowing Arj, he probably had a guy put his clothes on and then go off because you can't tell the helmet and everything. But
so it could be anybody.
It really could, because I don't really think Arj would do it.
We should send him pictures of us in our wingsuits. To say it's us.
And then just getting in the wingsuit.
When people ask me on the airplane what my job is, I don't like talking about being a comedian. I say I'm in the Blue Man Group.
How does that work out?
It works pretty well.
I've used aluminum. I sell aluminum siding.
That'll shut them up.
Exactly. Right away.
When it's a girl, I say I work in a zoo.
A zoo's a good one.
Yeah, girls love people who work in zoos.
Nice.
I specialize in giraffes. I've even got some giraffe facts that I throw out there. I'm not kidding. All right. So when you meet me, do you know that the giraffes, the amount of bones they have in the neck is exactly the same as the human spine?
Is that true?
That's true, yeah.
You could make that up and we'd all believe. Nobody would go.
And then I did, this is my joke, okay? And the tongue is so powerful that if they wanted to, they could lick you and rip the flesh off your arms. That's how they get the leaves off the bark, right? That's why there's no lesbian giraffes.
Do you use that joke too?
Yeah, I do that one. And I do the look.
It
would be hard with the 69 with the long necks anyway, and then I'm in.
Can we use this? Do you think, or is this
No,
yours?
no, then if every guy's working with giraffes, people will know. And also with the accent, it's good because they flew me out here because I'm an expert in giraffes and they didn't have a guy.
Yeah,
But Australia's not known for its giraffes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
but they don't know that. You're not picking the ones that would know.
I did a zoology course in Sydney, which was regarded as the best zoo in the world. That in San Diego. I've got facts and figures.
Taronga Zoo.
For the Taronga Zoo is the best zoo in the world.
I went to the Taronga Zoo once, and
beautiful zoo.
it's an amazing zoo. And we went to the monkey exhibition, and
I've heard they look like giraffes.
there were
I had a couple of giraffes try to mug me once.
there were like it was like a glassed in monkey case, like you were behind glass, and not one, not two, not three, but every single monkey there had his ass facing the glass, and they were shitting into their hand. And then, like, turning around and looking at all the people watching them and eating the shit. Like, they would just eat the shit in their hand and eat it. And I think it was kind of this, like, oh, you're going to lock us up? You're going to lock us up and watch us? Watch this. And it was like, not one. From the old ones to the babies. It was like 20 fucking monkeys.
You think it was an act of defiance?
I think one of them, the leader monkey, said, "This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna eat our shit." Because little kids and parents were all going, "Oh!" Like it wasn't fun. You're not watching the. I was the only one laughing. I'm like, "This is amazing."
This is what I like about monkeys, right? So if I'm masturbating and there's a dog in the room, it doesn't bother me. I'm not masturbating because of the dog. But if the dog's just at the end of the bed or on the floor.
Wait a minute. Before you go any further, you don't own a dog.
Yeah,
I own a dog.
I own dogs.
You lived with me for a long
I've masturbated on this couch with Noosa in the room, but it had nothing to do with Noosa.
Poor
With the dog
Noosa.
walking around, but it doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is I wouldn't do it in front of another person, right?
You would masturbate
When you
in front of a dog.
watch, when in front of a dog or
Let
any
me
other
ask you
animal.
this. I hate to interrupt. I know it's your show, but
Right.
I asked this question to a friend the other day, and I think you two need to answer it. If you're masturbating in front of a ghost, who's scaring who?
Well, I don't believe in ghosts.
I do.
Do you?
I have this
took
whole
that
new
pretty
theory
literally.
about them. Yeah. I have this whole new theory of like time travel. They say that if there was time travel, people wouldn't be able to come back. They'd only be able to go forward. Because if they were able to come back, we'd have met them. They would have come back. And I think maybe they are able to come back, but maybe they're in like a ghost form. So
What about we would meet some of the forward people?
no, we wouldn't, because they haven't invented time travel yet.
Yeah, but the people in the front, you can do this all day.
No, explain.
Parallel universes. There'd be people in front. So if you're saying we haven't invented time travel yet, then you're saying that the future doesn't even exist.
Yeah, the future doesn't exist yet.
Yeah, then how are we traveling there?
Oh, that's a good point.
And not that.
Yeah.
The only way that time travel works is if there's parallel universes running at once.
This is pretty deep. I was just bringing up masturbating on ghosts.
Unless it's the time.
I kind of want to figure out if I
my
could.
point was that I masturbate in front of other animals, right? But fucking monkeys, if you go to the zoo, monkeys will masturbate in front of all the people watching, but they'll hide behind a tree away from the other monkeys.
Yeah.
Like they're going, oh, there's just some fucking humans there. I don't give a shit about them.
Of course not. They ate their shit in
what
front of
are
me.
they going to do? Oh, don't let that monkey see me.
Yeah, I don't like fucking in front of animals.
Yeah, you having sex, your dog is watching.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't bother me. I can have sex in front of because they're not part of the sex. That's the thing, is they're not part of it. It's not like you're including them.
You pretty much taught us with the jerk off contest that you can do it in front of anyone.
I can do it in front of
There's a
anyone.
crowd of people.
Can you catch me up? You had a jerk off contest?
I think I'd be very good in
We-
porn.
we-
I can come on cue and stuff like that. I think I would be good in porn.
We raced to see who could come first, and so we all went to separate rooms and took porn with us and jerked off, and Jim did it.
It was an honor system, though. You know.
No, we
No.
brought a bag of
You had
cum
to bring you had to
downstairs.
bring it back in a bag,
Yeah.
in a Ziploc bag.
I told you it's a strange
Do you
show.
do you want to race me?
Jim's the reigning
Reigning,
champion.
yeah, reigning champ. What was your time?
I like how you call it raining.
But the thing was, your time is not better than my solo time. Like when I'm home alone, I can break.
No,
your
no, no.
time.
It wasn't. You know, I can do faster than that.
Oh, you can?
by myself. That's not the fastest I've done.
What's your record?
If I haven't come for days, and my girlfriend's in the shower, I can get it done in like 40 seconds because of all
40 seconds?
Because of all the pressure that's around. Like, I got to get this done. But like, I have to be real horny, like laying in bed, like, fuck, I want to fucking come and I don't want to fucking go to the effort of fucking.
What if there's tsunami footage on the television?
Why?
Would that stop you?
That wouldn't stop me. Well, I assume Asians are dying. Probably,
That might make them come quicker.
Yeah, that'll probably speed things up.
They've done that, but that was with an eating contest instead of a jerk-off contest.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me. I just have a good constitution.
You guys had a jerk-off contest. You know, that's a little sophomoric. It's interesting, though.
It's a little sophomoric. Do you know what show you're on? We've done a lot worse.
But what about amount? Was that a factor? Because to me, that'd be more impressive.
Jim's was a lot more sickly looking, but I think he had a lot more than me.
Yeah, mine was...
Jim's looked like...
It was all there.
It looked like kind of bad phlegm.
It was all there.
My stuff,
I'm not ashamed of my cum. It was all there.
Don't you worry about it. My stuff works, mate. It's fucking... My stuff's good.
Did you see The Dictator yet?
Yeah, not good.
No, I didn't like it either.
No, it's not good.
I sent the guy who opened for me in Indianapolis, just went, and he's like, I went because I told him it was so bad. So he went, and he said, you were right. The Dictator ate a hot cock sandwich. It was like watching a Wayans Brothers movie with less black people, which I guess is the only thing that makes it better than a Wayans Brothers movie.
It was bad. Look. Sacha Baron Cohen's the type of guy that I'd like to work with in the future.
I know.
So I don't want to even say too much. But
He is the funniest guy in the world. Borat was the funniest movie I've ever seen. And then I watched The Dictator.
Bruno was good, but this was bad. But his Ali G movie was bad as well.
Oh, that's what I've heard.
Like when he writes scripted stuff, when he writes it, it's not good.
That's the whole concept of him that's funny, that he's like taking the piss out of people.
But he acts good with other people's scripts. Like he was good in Hugo, and he was good in Talladega Nights and all that type of stuff.
Have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't seen it.
Don't waste.
I'm going to go, and that's where I'm going to do my speed masturbation.
It's got little tiny moments in it that are good, and a line here, a line there, where you think, oh, this is funny. But for the most part, it's not good.
That movie review was done by the mayor of Fart Town.
That's my review.
The mayor of Fart Town was the guy that opened for me. I kept getting Twitters from the mayor of Fart Town, and I was like, "Who is this guy?"
And you let him open?
I get in the car in Indianapolis. He picks me up at the hotel to take me to the gig, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" He's like, I've been talking to you on Twitter, and I go, I don't know what you're talking about. And he goes,
but did you just
I'm the mayor of Fart Town.
Did you let a Twitterer, like, was he a comic already?
No, the club booked him.
Oh, right. Because I've got a guy, I think he's written on our page, hasn't he? There's a guy who's written on our page.
that weirdo,
that's creepy.
He wrote a book and dedicated it to me.
Yep.
You changed his life, Jim.
Yeah,
and he just wants 3 minutes to open for you.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm on Social Security. I got no money or whatever, but I will pay money just to make. Like, holy fuck!
So he's listening right now, probably.
Was that?
Do you think he's listening?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah. He's watching everything Jim does.
But I haven't written back. He creeps me out.
He's probably studying giraffes right now.
Like I wonder if he's.
You can see him. He's like.
I wonder if his book's published or he's just like, I've written a book and it's just, like fucking got shit smeared all over it. just my name like dripped in blood.
Saddam Hussein did that. He wrote the Quran in blood. You know, I was watching The House of Saddam. He like got so crazy and thought he was like a descendant of Muhammad, and like he was the man and the prophet.
In certain countries, that's a requirement to be a leader.
You have to write the Quran in blood.
No.
Oh.
That's how I try to come on to girls on planes, just real twisted. I'm going to use the giraffe thing.
Girls like
I wrote the Quran in blood.
That'd be a really bad come on.
And I'm about to hijack this
really
plane.
bad come on. Yeah.
Speaking of hijacking night, Farside wanted to go out the other night. I get a phone call. What are you doing tonight? I go, I've got a gig. What are you doing? He goes, I found this really cool bar in North Hollywood. Let's go out. I go, Farside, I don't leave Venice. I'll meet you in Venice. So he comes down, and the night ended with him.
Could he call me? I'm in North Hollywood.
You were out of town. Night ended with Farside upstairs puking in my bathroom.
By the way, he texted me too and tried to get me to go to the North Hollywood bar.
Why were you out? What happened?
Well, my friend told me he wanted me to go to this bar, so I wanted to just check it out. Then I was like, man, I could invite friends.
And then when you went to Eddie,
And Eddie.
so I think we have to check in. Anyone heard from Jason?
I've talked to him.
How's it going?
It was awesome. I'm down at the patch. I was getting coffee.
The bald patch or the original patch?
The original patch.
He's back at the original patch?
I think he was just visiting.
Oh,
He was
God.
getting a pupusa or whatever.
But he already had a holiday a week ago. How can he go to two cities at once?
Cash, Jason was our sidekick.
Yeah.
We don't know where he is. He's kind
He's
of
disappeared.
Well, he's taking some time off.
No, he hasn't disappeared.
But anyway, I see him. He's got his hair all cut, and
Because he's ready for war.
and I see him, and he comes out. I saw Duke, so I'm like, I know Jason's around. He comes out of the store and he gives me the stink eye, like he wants to fucking fight me. And I go, Jason, and I go, hi, Jason, and he walks past me and goes in the coffee shop from the fucking vitamin shop, whatever the juice shop. And then he comes back out and he tries to ignore me and he goes to the dogs and he just starts playing with the dogs. And I go, Jason. And he goes, what? And I put my arms out. You know, I won't let him hug me.
Yeah.
And he goes, you going to give me a hug? And it was like he was hijacking a hug from me. Like this was the only condition he could get it. And I went, I'll give you a hug. And he goes, my mom's real bad. So we talked about his mom's not doing well.
Right.
And he's apparently he's gonna go home for a long time and spend some time there. But then he told me, like, he should have ended with that. Like, I'm going home to see my mom. My mom's not bad. And I was like, good, you know, we're all behind you and everything. And then
Because that's actually a story where lives are at stake.
Yeah, you got to close with that. You got to close with it.
That's
Yeah.
the first time he's had a story that actually means, and he didn't say it.
But then I said, what's up with the hair? And he goes, I got to get serious. And I go, what do you mean you got to get serious? He goes, Raul, we're working, we're doing stuff. And I went, okay. And he's like, so he told me he's going to be selling hair care products out of Tennessee.
Because this is the thing. He's only got about 3 outfits. Like, he walks into these hair salons wearing his Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Clubs Band hoodie and a pair of old jeans. But yeah, it's the haircut that's been weighing me down.
I can just imagine the hairstylist being like, "Are you wearing a shirt with yourself on it right now?"
So he's going to Tennessee for a while, and he's going to sell hair care products out of Tennessee.
And then you're okay. Well, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So
Because a lot of people don't know that Tennessee is a huge market in hair. Because you ever heard about these people down there? Big hair. They all have big hair.
the Eastern distribution points. Most people don't know Memphis is where FedEx is, and
A lot of people don't know, but Tennessee is actually a better place to be putting a movie than Hollywood.
because of tax reasons.
Yeah, you can get spotted a lot easier in Tennessee. Over here, I just blend in. Over there, I stick out.
All the actors are leaving. They're going to Vancouver and Johnson City, Tennessee. He's gonna kill us. Yeah. So
Did he ask after me?
no, he didn't. He didn't ask about anyone. He was. I didn't say anything about the show. I didn't say anything about
Did
Lily.
he mention his friend that we have seen?
No, not a word. I thought, this is. I could have, because we were in a public place and he's not going to kill me there. But
Well, I texted him and said, how are things now that you got back? And he said, mixed. So I went, oh, all right.
well, and I talked to him about. They still want us to do the navigation device for the. Then I said, "Hey, Jason, we're going to hook you up with that," and he went, "Okay." So he's willing to do that. So I said, "When are you leaving?" He said, "July 1st." I think he set that date so he can come to Vegas.
I know, he has to do these podcasts to go to Vegas.
Yeah, he's got to earn some podcast.
He can't go. No, he can't just not do your homework and go on the excursion.
He can't cherry pick.
No, you can't cherry pick gigs to do. You got to sit around and do fucking shows with this guy, not these like big Vegas ones. Nothing personal, but you're not Vegas.
I was just in Vegas, though.
Where'd you go?
I was doing a show at the Encore, and I was propositioned by a hooker.
The Encore's nice.
Yeah, it is really nice.
It's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, it's really nice. I was propositioned by a hooker, and I told her, because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. Isn't that weird when you're...
Yeah.
it's her job. I was like, no, maybe tomorrow night. You know, like she'd be able to find me.
Was she good looking?
When I say
She
maybe
wasn't
tomorrow
really
night,
that great looking.
when I say maybe tomorrow night, I mean it. I'm like, like I gotta really.
I go, I'm
think
kind of
about
tired. Maybe tomorrow night.
this. Did you get her number?
No, I don't think it works that way.
I've gotten
I
them.
don't think-
I've
I don't
like
know.
sat down and had drinks with them, talked about hooking.
I've never been approached by a hooker in Vegas.
Oh yeah,
It's weird,
You,
yeah.
If you stay in the really nice hotels like the Encores, where
They'll
I've been
come
in
right
on-
up to you. She goes, "Where are you going?" I go, "I'm going to bed. I'm really tired. Can I join you?" And I go, "I'm really tired."
Yeah, can I join
Tomorrow
you?
night. Tomorrow night might be.
They find you around 5 a.m. They know you're just
Yeah, she wasn't that beautiful, to be honest with you.
every.
That's why I felt
inhibition's-
sorry for her.
Because if she was hot, you wouldn't. I'd feel more sorry for her. I'm like, you could have done better.
Yeah.
I have like
There-
I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I've got a couple friends that have turned to hooking. And have I talked about that on the show?
Not that I know.
I know lots of girls have, and it's always weird when you meet them.
Yeah, this one chick that I'm friends with, she was Eastern European, living in America, and always having visa problems. And one time I just talked to her, and I was like, "What's up?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm living on 57th Street, blah blah blah." I'm like, "Where the fuck did you get money for 57th?" She's like, "Oh, you know." And I'm like, "No, I don't. Where'd you get the money?" She's like, "Oh, this chick just invited me to Miami for the weekend, and she's a hot model, and she said, hey, we're gonna go with these guys. We're gonna party all weekend." She's like, "We went, we partied, we did coke. I fucked her, she fucked me, we fucked both guys." She's like, "And then I came home and there was $25,000 in my bank account." And I was like, 25 grand? How do I get this fucking job? I'll go with you next time." And so now she's like, and then I just kept going.
How did you meet her?
Friend of a friend, and I knew her for years in New York, and she like I knew her for 5 years before that happened.
What's the progression? I mean, are there porn stars? Porn stars are above hookers, right?
No, porn stars, most porn stars hook as well.
But I think this chick was just a chick
Both.
who always
Yeah.
she was like
That's busy, yeah.
This chick was a model, and I think she always hung out with rich guys, and so it was just a matter of converting the rich guy from dinner into the money.
Is there any porn where they film the actual hookers doing their thing, where that is the porn?
No,
So then the porn
because,
star gets paid twice, by the guy and by the
Well, it's pretty much porn,
New Market. New
porn-
Market. Farside, you're the guy to run this. I can tell.
You would do something
But that
like
party
that.
story, I can tell.
Speaking of which,
You're an entrepreneur.
Why don't you just do porn? You could combine two things you really like: film and trying to get laid.
Yeah, that's my passion. This is my passion.
I'm not a
project.
porn
I'm just
fan.
gonna do this.
I'm not a porn fan. You see things in porn you don't see in nature. They just want to film something. You'll see like someone spewing their cum all over someone's face. You don't see that in nature. You don't see like a chicken pulling out and coming on another chicken's beak. There's no chicken facials.
I've never watched chickens fuck.
Well, yeah.
How do you know that a chicken?
you think that there's been chickens?
I watched a
that come with-
kangaroo fuck recently.
I've watched dogs
I don't
rape
believe you
each
when you're
other's
talking about
faces.
animals. I don't buy
No, I
it.
did when I was in a kangaroo
I saw a
park.
giraffe facial.
Couple of months ago, I saw a kangaroo in a koala park fucking shagging another kangaroo.
I wanna
That's
see-
interesting because you think, where does the tail go? And it was, and the guy was really aggressive. It was a rape that I saw.
I want to see one kind of species of animal fuck another kind, like when that happens, and
yeah.
that's serious rape.
Yeah.
Does that happen?
Interracial porn.
Do you have like a whale?
Well, Harlow is part pit bull, part French bulldog, so that was a rape. There's no doubt that was a rape, because there's no way a French bulldog would like willingly fuck a big pit bull. You know, that pit bull just took it down and ran.
You ever
it.
seen an Asian bird fuck a black guy? I've watched it.
Kaylani Lay, who, by the way, is doing the show soon.
This is a good question, though. Are there any different types of animals that have sex?
I think there are. I think it's happened. That's how zebras.
So,
No, I'm just kidding.
AIDS came from people fucking monkeys, right?
Who just explained this to me? It wasn't. That's not.
I like that story. I've had that story for 20 years, I've been told. It's,
But,
I
like,
don't want to deviate off it now.
Try to fuck a monkey. Try to hold a monkey. It's impossible.
Monkey might have been passed out.
Monkeys have feet on their hands or
They
feet.
might have punched the monkey till it was concussed. Hit
That's
it with
true.
a baseball bat and then fucked it.
That's true. This is really fucking warped, like face eating fucking bath salts.
Yeah, I was just in Miami. I'm not a big fan of Miami radio.
What happened?
Oh my god, it's all shit. I'm going to say this: most radio shows in this country are fucking shit.
And in other countries, they're not.
Not as the radio shit all across the world. You're right, actually. But it's just that whole, hey, we got Jim Jeffries here. Okay, oh, he's a bit of a live wire. Oh, those people I fucking hate.
How about the ones that ask you to write down your bits and then they feed them to you?
I don't write down bits.
Well, what
I write down things that aren't bits of mine, just like things like Jesus pies.
Yeah,
Jesus likes pies.
But what about?
I'm like, what are you talking about?
What about what about a show where they've made a career of bringing comedians on, and they take their bits and they just have them do bits for 4 hours, and they just and then they make CDs of them and
Is there
sell
a show
them.
you're talking about in particular?
Maybe.
What show is this?
The one I'll fucking never go on ever fucking again.
Is that with the rape boy?
Yeah.
Byron Allen?
It's Comics
It's
Unleashed.
kind of the Comics Unleashed of radio. But Byron Allen, to give him credit, he's the nicest guy in the world.
Byron Allen's a good guy.
He's fucking so nice, you can't not like him. Like,
this is the
his
radio.
segues are
You're talking about
terrible.
a radio
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
I think all our listeners know too if they're into comedy.
But you're
they know
right. There's
exactly
not
what I'm
many
talking.
easy radio shows where they don't, and they want to ask you the one question where you have no joke about it, even though you write them a list.
But I don't want to write the list.
Yeah, I never given the list. Sometimes I just refuse to write the list. I just, what's the fucking point? You know what I mean? Like, okay, the radio show I like the most in the satellite is Opie and Anthony. It's my favourite show to be on. I look forward to doing it.
What about Johnny Dare?
I like Johnny Dare.
Yeah, he's.
I like Johnny Dare out of Kansas. Johnny Dare's a good
That's
guy.
one of the only ones that I can think of that I like to. I like Cowhead in Tampa.
And I like Kevin and Bean.
Kevin and Bean are great.
Kevin and Bean are
and
good
Cowhead.
guys. I don't know Cowhead.
You've done Cowhead.
I can't remember. And I like Uncle Nasty
I don't know him.
in Denver.
Do you ever go on sport?
Right.
You ever go on sport shows? Because sport shows are fun.
The sports
Those
shows
are-
I prefer.
Yeah, because you've got enough funny stuff to say about what's ever going on in the sports world at that time. It's not awkward. It's not weird. There's not some girl doing the weather.
That has an issue with her ex-husband.
The Johnny Dare's good, but he's one that they make you write stuff down. I don't know if it's Johnny who makes you do it.
No, it's Craig.
Craig goes, okay, he doesn't know what, just write some things down. And what bugs me is Craig sometimes when I'm in there will fucking tell me to tell a joke. There's nothing I hate more in the world than when I go for,
Craig Glazer is the owner of Stanford and Sons in Kansas City that we always talk about, the guy that talks like this. Jim Jeffries, he's like my Woodbeck. He's if I was going to go back into crime, Jim would be my partner. I can tell he's got the same. He and I we like threesomes with one's got to be black, and we also
he's very exact about things like that.
I did time in prison, so I could take it. If Jim and I went down, I'm the one that would go to prison, and I would tell Jim to hide the money, and then we'd take it when we get out, and. But when you go to radio, he drives you in his Porsche and then goes,
He's got a Lotus now.
This sounds just
and
like
business isn't doing. He'll be like, business isn't good. Had to get rid of the Porsche, and I'm driving a Lotus now.
this. This sounds just like the guy in Louisville, the guy of Sobel.
Oh, I've never met Tom Zobel. I've
Same
only
thing.
talked to him on the phone.
Cash company's struggling, so came right out of your paycheck.
That's how it always is. We're the first ones.
Yeah, I got a system for booking. Send me your avails. It works. And then he just calls and offers you dates. The only dates you didn't have.
Yeah, he's done that to me. He'll be like, I want to know where you are all the time. I'm like, I'm not going to tell you where.
This system works, so it would behoove you to send me your avails every day.
I think he
Every
just
hour.
lost that club.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah. So business isn't as good. Are you picking on the poor bloke? Because he's telling the truth.
He never hired me.
No, he sold it. It's still going.
But Craig Glazer, we could make fun of Craig. We could do a whole show about Craig.
I'd love to have Craig as a
and
guest.
he would love it. He would love it if we did a whole show about him.
Yeah. But this is what I was saying. When we're on the radio, Craig does that thing where he goes, Jim, tell him the joke that you say about the... And you're just like, I don't want to do that. Please don't make me tell jokes.
Like your wind-up doll
on
or something.
demand.
Yeah.
I got this girlfriend now. She's fucking crazy. She's,
Black Barbie.
Black Barbie, and she calls me and she threatens me. She's like, Craig, you better, you little dick, give me some fucking money or I'm going to tell everybody about your little dick. And I'm like, I don't care. Everybody in this town's seen my little dick. And so we did a couple lines of cocaine, and then we picked up another chick, and we got in my Porsche, and, well, not my Porsche, my Lotus, and I called Jim Jeffries, and he's one of my best friends, and Jim's a heavy hitter. We have him out here, and
I am a heavy hitter.
and I like to have the big guys out here, Tommy Chong and Al Franken. Sometimes
Larry the Cable Guy used to work there.
Larry the Cable Guy, he won't return my
Dane
calls.
Whitney.
Won't return my calls anymore, but
Isn't that the reason why you guys don't say that you're comedians if people ask you what you are? It's because it's just awkward conversation then? Or they say, tell us a joke. Or
I don't like it because awkward conversation.
And
I don't like if it's a girl that I want to have sex with, then yes, I'll tell them. If it's something else, just awkward. And also often if it's a guy and there's drink involved, he might turn into a bit of a fuckwit.
yeah, that's
You know
true.
what I mean? He might get a bit like, you don't seem that fucking funny to me. Right? And then you're like,
Well, that was name comics that you personally hate that
Yeah,
they
yeah,
love
yeah, yeah.
too.
That's it. That's
and then you have to sort of.
They'll be like, do you like, and you know who I'm a big fan of? And you'll go, isn't Robin Williams amazing? And you're like, yeah, it's not my cup of tea, but
Then they'll say, how'd you get your start?
how'd you
And
get
then
your
gotta do the
start?
whole
Do you
that.
write your own material? There's like 10 questions.
Yeah, it's 10 questions.
It's the same one. It's like when somebody breaks their arm or leg and they have to tell the story over and over again. You get sick of it. When I broke my ankle and people would go, what happened? I would just look at them and go, I was born like this. And so
but what did happen? Curious.
you don't know how I did it?
I know how you did it.
But what I wish there was the same kind of answer as a comedian, and they go, you're a comedian. What's that like? Cancer, like something they just stop.
I have guys that I went to school with who have asked this question: when did you become funny? Yeah, that one. But they came to the show and enjoyed it. Like, you weren't funny in school. I was like, yes, I was. You just didn't pay attention.
I get them after my show going, you're still not funny.
Yeah.
I love that you guys have a
fat Mexican.
live studio audience. It's such an eclectic group you guys have formulated here. It's like
It's like the Benetton commercial.
Yeah, it is.
We got a Jew, a Mexican, a fat guy.
I went to Orlando.
And I just was talking about Ernie completely.
What? I went to Orlando and I went to the movie world, the fucking Universal Studios. A lot of people look like Far Side. A lot of people going around. The Universal Studios, I never saw this in the American one. They have plus-size seats on the roller coasters.
Are you fucking kidding
Rows
me?
3s and 6 of the plus-size seats.
This country's fucking ridiculous.
On the-
Farside said the other night I was feeding him shots, trying to get him stirred up, and he said, I don't want to be your Jason.
You don't want to be... would you be mine?
No, I don't want to be Jason.
Yeah, Jason was never stupid enough to get a tattoo.
He's afraid it's going down that road. He goes, look, I don't have a place right now.
Yeah,
A lot of parallels.
I told you could stay a few nights. You
No,
haven't hit me up on it.
No, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you to tell me it's
I don't.
okay.
I don't beg you. I put the offer out there, and then I don't keep checking in. You ring me up when you fucking need it. Like, to me, I prefer you weren't there. It would be easier if you weren't there. If you need it, you got to call me up. I offered it nicely. It's not up for me to follow up from now on.
He didn't want to stay the other night. My girlfriend made a bed for him here, and because Lachlan was staying in your old room,
Yeah.
and so he's like, no, I'm gonna drive home, and he lives in in Tarzana or something.
Thanks for giving that out.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're gonna go
Oh.
find you.
I live in Mount Olympus.
So he's like, I'm fine. I'll drive. I'm like, you're not driving. Fucking stay here. And
I
then-
said that before I drank.
No. You said it. You were ready to go home after it, and then I hear you upstairs puking. I'm like, and you were gonna fucking drive.
That was a couple hours afterwards. Everything settled in the burrito. We went out for tacos. That was not the good idea because it all came out my nose.
It came out my ass the next day.
Did you do it from the van up the road?
Yeah. I can't eat hot shit. I was pissing like I was pissing out my ass, like complete fucking water. It was like a stream. It was like when you watch a girl squirt on a porn. It was fucking whoosh.
I had lobster mac and cheese the other day, and I'm a bit lactose intolerant. Fucking seafood with lactose. Oh, fucking hell. I was squirting.
I was squirting, but it was like if I had a urinary tract infection, but it was coming out my ass because it burned like that. It was
I feel like we should save these stories for those radio shows we were talking about. You know, don't burn them here.
This is the problem. They don't let you talk about this. When I was on that show, every time I told a story about something fucked up, they'd be like, "This isn't that kind of show. We don't do that here."
That's what they do on the Tom and Jerry show.
Yeah. I know I'm never going back anyway, so.
Yeah, but now you've stopped me from going back by association.
Well, they told me they'd had you, and like you were great. I'm like, no, he's never done it.
No, I have done it.
Oh, you have?
I have done it once, yeah.
Okay, because I didn't think you had done it.
And they liked me?
I think so.
I was funny that day.
You're not doing it now, are you?
What? Being funny?
Wait, I did the show with you, didn't I?
No, we did different segments, but we were there the same day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Cash, can I read your bio that
Sure.
that Farside wrote for you?
Sure, I'm. You're gonna embarrass me, aren't you?
No, well, he does it with every.
Oh,
one
okay.
here.
That's probably how it
Cash
works.
Levy has been doing.
It's actually Levy, though. By the way,
Is it Levy?
Yeah, that's what everyone calls it. That's how we pronounce it in my family. Yeah.
Cash Levy.
And now it starts.
I think you should go by Levy.
I
gotta change
agree.
it now.
I always sing the song, drove the Chevy to the Levy.
Right.
Yeah. Cash, I don't know what it is, has been doing comedy so long that he was on Comics Unleashed. His comedy can
Were
be...
you on Comics Unleashed?
Yeah, but that's not that long
You're
ago.
a fairly wild guy. How did they... What happened? What happened when they unleashed you? You must have just smashed things up, you.
His comedy can be seen at clubs all over the world, online, at Comedy Central Jokes, or at one of his widely reviewed corporate gigs. He has jokes we can all relate to, varying from marriage all the way to lion sex habits. Hear him weekly on his podcast with friend of the show, TJ Miller, called Cashing In with TJ Miller, under the Nerdist umbrella, or on his website, cashlevy.com. Here he is, Cash Levy.
I like TJ.
Wow, thanks. That's a great. Can I have that? I want people to introduce me that way from now on. That'd be great.
Yours isn't close to some of the worst.
I know. I've heard worse ones. It's good.
He's
So how long... Wait, are you just good friends with TJ? Or
Yeah,
is
he's
it
an old
business?
friend. We actually worked together in Chicago. I don't know how many years ago, but we became friends and decided to do a podcast.
Did you start in Chicago?
No,
Oh.
it just so happens we were there at the same time. He's a great guy, and we have fun doing the show. The idea of the show is it's my show, but every week I can't get any guests, so I just have the
Cash.
same guest every week, and it's TJ Miller.
That's what I told Brian McCarthy to do with his show. He does the Brian McCarthy interview show.
Yeah.
He calls it the Brian McCarthy interview show.
And he
And
does
he
an
brings
interview?
on celebrity guests that they're not celebrities. They're always... and he's like the funniest guy in the world. I go...
Does he have porn stars on it all the time, does he?
He works in the porn world.
I haven't listened to his podcast. Is it good?
He's fucking hysterical. So I go, Brian, it'd be funny if you bring these celebrities on and then make them interview you. Every week, make them interview you. And when they stop, be like...
That's funny.
Yeah, and I was like, you need to do this. And he's like, yeah, okay. I'm like, because otherwise you're just another dude doing an interview. And I listened to Maron's podcast today with Rick Shapiro. I don't know if it was an old one.
It was, yeah. Is
And-
Rick still?
Yeah, because I was like, how's Rick? Because Rick's kind of needs help right now. If you want to help out Rick Shapiro and you're a big fan, go to rickshapiro.tv. And he's in bad shape, and he really needs help right now. Did you know that about Rick Shapiro?
No, I didn't know that.
He had like a heart attack, and
His nerve system shut down.
yeah, so he's and he doesn't have health care or something, so they're taking donations, and Maron's helping him out. It was fucking amazing listening to Rick and Mark talk.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the heart attack. I was there. I didn't help or anything, but it was fucking weird. I was like, stop kidding around, Rick.
Have you ever seen someone have a heart attack?
I was on a plane where a guy died of a heart
that's-
attack.
that was-
I didn't see it.
I saw somebody have an incident in a restaurant recently, and the paramedics came. Now, here's a philosophical question. If you're with that person, because his wife was with him, was it inappropriate for her to, like, put a doggy bag together?
Did she?
Didn't go to the ambulance? Is that appropriate or not?
She didn't do
No,
it.
it's inappropriate.
Inappropriate?
Did she do it?
I don't think so. We went over and ate her food after they left, though.
If it was a really good meal, I'd fucking get a doggy bag. If it was really
It
good.
depends how close you were to that person.
Yeah. Well, I saw, this is a great one. On New Year's Eve, when I was in high school, we had a friend that her parents would let us party in their basement, and we were allowed to drink at their house. They were fine with it. And on New Year's Eve, they had a big party with like parents and everything, but the kids were allowed to drink. And the countdown started 10, 9, 8, and her grandfather went, fucking hit the ground. And everyone was like, oh my God. And they're like trying to shut everything down, but everyone is still like 6, 5, and they're like, shut up. And I'm going 3. But it was it was like we didn't get to New Year's. We stopped like at 3, and there was no like celebration. We had to wait till like the ambulance came and took him away, and then we're like, what do we do now? Like, do we have New Year's? And we're like, that was probably good New Year's for you. Your grandfather just died.
Yeah, when grandparents die, though, it's all right, though, isn't it?
If they're old enough.
Yeah, if they're old enough.
I was at the horse track recently, and I don't go very often or know much about
I
horse
like
racing.
that. We should go. We should take the whole crew.
It was fun. I bet a superfecta for the first time, which is when you pick like the top 4 horses that you think will finish.
More than a trifecta. It's
right.
one more.
Yeah, super. So at that,
Do you have to get them in place 1, 2, 3, 4, or can it be any order?
it can be any order.
Boxed it.
Right.
Okay.
I boxed it. So it was the first time I've ever laid a bet like this. At the end of the race, fucking the horse in the lead collapses.
Oh, that's
Eats
sad.
shit. The fucking jockey falls off. They like bring out a
gun.
pretty much an ambulance. They put up a sheet in front of it so you can't see, and they basically put the horse down right there. And while they're doing all this, I realize I fucking hit the superfecta. I had all 4 fucking horses. So everyone's like in shock, like tearing up, and I'm like, holy fuck, I hit it.
You were so happy that horse died.
Well,
How much did you win?
I ended up winning like $100 or something like that.
What? That sounds like a fucking 2,000 to 1 shot.
Yeah, but
No,
but I bet
not when
like
it's boxed. Not when it's boxed.
And I bet like $2 or something like that.
But did the person with you,
Or
did they
20
understand
cents.
what was happening, or was it like a first date and she was like, this guy's a fucking asshole?
I went
fucking asshole.
I went and there's a thing called the Easter Show in Australia, which is just like the carnival coming to town type of thing. And they have inside the stadium, they had like a couple of motorcycle guys doing the big jumps and doing the Superman and all that type of stuff and doing backflips on motorcycles. Anyway, this lad landed on his neck, and we found out afterwards, quadriplegic, right? So we watched it all happen, right? And everyone's like, oh no, and they rush out, and then like they sort of like they bring everyone out, and then like just like at the fucking rodeo when someone gets hurt, they went, oh, this isn't really working out. So they send out the clown car, right? The fucking,
And it does like that.
the guy with the wobbly car that comes out. Then he did some tricks, and it was just like everyone hated him because like
Bad timing.
yeah, it's like, why would you do that? It's like that Homer Simpson, the Simpsons episode where they go, there's been a dog run over in the car park out the front. Now for Homer Simpson, he goes, are you ready to laugh? That one.
It's funny weirdly, coincidentally, Arj Barker got hired to do this thing at the Krusty Demons, is one of those motorcycle shows.
Sure.
And they tour Australia a lot. It's kind of like Nitro Circus, but it's I guess another one. And there were like 34,000 people at this fucking like stadium, not stadium, but this like dirt fucking track area where they were going to break all these records. And like the most cars jumped, or the heaviest car, they jumped a tank, the farthest a tank can jump, and all these crazy records. So Arj is doing like commentary at it. And
How do they jump a tank?
I don't know. It was fucking stupid. And they had like, there were all different kinds of like tandem jumping, like 2 guys jumping a car or a motorcycle the farthest. But one of the things was they had the fattest guy jumping the farthest, and he was going to jump from the big ramp onto the dirt. And his name's Bubba. You can look him up. His name's Bubba, and he's part of the Krusty Demons. So we're backstage and getting like, because Arj is commentating and stuff, and there's a band playing, and there's fucking every redneck in Australia.
Is the fat guy in a car, or is he just literally
No,
jumping?
on a motorcycle.
Okay.
He used to be a former motocross racer, and now he's gotten really fat, and he's kind of like a joke guy. But it's every bogan in Australia, that's the Australian redneck, is fucking at this place. And we're backstage because it started to rain. and we're all like hiding in the tent, and the band is doing coke. The band was called Manimal or something, and they're fucking blowing lines and drinking like rock stars, like straight out of the bottle, you know, and they're going out and like performing in the rain. And I start talking to Bubba because he's from like Costa Mesa. I'm like, oh, you're from Costa Mesa? I live in LA. We start talking, and I said, so what are you gonna do? He's like, I'm gonna break the record for the longest jump. And I go, oh, have you ever done it before? And he's like, well, I've never done the. I said, have you been off this ramp before? He goes, only once. And I go, does it make it more dangerous that it's wet now? And I didn't realize it's like stand up. You don't talk to the stand up before the act. Like you're like, oh, this looks like a tough crowd. I go,
It didn't occur to you to say you're about,
Yeah.
it's wet. You're probably, I'm going to jinx you.
yeah, I didn't think of that. And then Arj will tell you this. I go, so it's wet. And I go, and I start telling everybody, I'm like, this guy's going to fucking jump that.
He's fucking
thing.
crazy.
And I'm like, this is fucking. And he looked like really nervous when I started. And he's like, we get extra money if we do it when it's wet. Like, we don't want to go out there, but all these people have paid, so the promoter pays us more. He's like, we can say no. And I'm like, uh-oh, I think I just fucked this guy up. So he goes out to do his thing, and I look at Arj, and I go, I think I just fucked that guy up. I don't think he should do this. And Arj goes, what'd you say? And I go, I just said, blah, blah, blah. And Arj goes, you fucking idiot. Sure enough, over the handlebars, broken collarbone, broken everything. And I'm looking at Arj and Allison, our friend. I'm like, I did that. Like, I fucked this guy. And you can Google it. You can watch on YouTube the wreck. And I to this day, I feel terrible for it.
Do you have did you write a comment underneath it?
I did this. Sorry.
That sounds terrifying.
It was awful because he hit.
What kind of a gig is that? I don't understand what Arch was doing.
Ask Arch. He was wearing a fake mustache too, which was awesome.
I had to open for Jefferson. Well, it was called. They were called Starship.
We built this city.
Yeah. There's only one guy left in the group, and I was just starting comedy. I was really inexperienced. I only had about 10 minutes of material. I was at this state fair, so I go up there. I finish all my material. I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, Starship, and they don't come out. And I see someone backstage like, stretch. I'm like, oh shit, I don't have anything to stretch with. So I start trying to riff, with the state fair people. And then finally I'm like, well, let me go see what Starship's doing. And this guy in back holds his bicycle up in the air. He's like, what the fuck? We're here to see fucking Starship. And people are starting to riot. And I go backstage. Starship was watching the Niners game. It was an overtime.
And they didn't want to come out.
Yeah, they're like, fuck it, dude. Just go back out there and stall.
I once at a music festival had you introduce the Killers, right? I was meant to do 10 minutes of stand-up in between. And I was in the UK. And I don't know if you know this, but from a long distance, I look like a chubby Brandon Flowers. So they all got excited. Yeah! Oh, it's not.
So you got Kirk Fox? Nobody's ever gotten fucked like Kirk Fox. Jason almost did it to you.
What?
When he introduced, he goes...
Jason, fuck Jacob Surf.
Yeah, Jason did one of those. Are you guys ready for Jim Jeffries?
You guys ready for Jim Jeffries?
But before he comes out... That's what happened with Charlie Sheen and Kirk Fox. They did, are you guys ready for Charlie Sheen? And the crowd went crazy. And then they went, well, before he comes out, we have this comedian, Kirk Fox. And they were just feeding him to the wolves at that point.
Yeah, that goes back to your whole posts and...
Yeah.
What is it?
Ladder,
Post?
former, post.
Ladder, former.
Have you
Before.
Have you ever been booed off?
I'm sure I have. I can't think of a good story right now, but I'm sure I have.
What about off a podcast?
Yeah, well, I was waiting. Have
you ever been booed off?
Oh, yeah, plenty of times.
Yeah, I've had some good ones.
Yeah, I've been booed off. I reckon we're talking a good 20 times.
I've had ones where I say I'm not leaving till you boo me off.
Yeah,
yes,
I've done that.
I've had that moment.
I've had the one where I've decided the audience was so shit and hated me.
You stay up there as long as you can.
No, where I go, I'm leaving, but I don't want you to give me some type of phony applause.
Right, yeah.
Okay, I want to lead to silence. You ever done it? It's fucking creepy.
I've done better, where they hated me so much I wouldn't get off stage until they gave me a standing ovation.
How often do you tell them to kill themselves? You ever tell them to collectively, all of them kill themselves?
Almost every show. Almost every show.
It's a bad one.
Even when it's going well.
I've hit a lot of people in the heads with microphones.
You're getting quite a reputation for that.
When did you hear about that?
Every club I go to, Jim was here, yeah. He was banging some dude in the front with his microphone on the head.
What happens is if someone, it happened just this weekend, some guy during the show walked up to the front of the stage, walked all the way up to the front, said, "Excuse me, I'm with some Irish friends. Can you tell some Irish jokes?" Halfway through a thing. And I said, "Sorry, can you just say that down the microphone?" You put the microphone to their face and then you just go, poof, like that, right? The crowd fucking loves it. It makes a great sound.
Yeah.
The sound is really like, poof.
And you wonder why you
And
got punched.
the guy just stands there like panicky, like this, right? It is a dangerous thing to do.
Very dangerous.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest that.
But I've done it about 5 or 6 times now, and I'll do it again. I can't. My brain's just like smack that cunt in the head with a microphone. They have to have. These aren't people just sitting there where they're annoying me. They have to be really fucking obnoxious to get the microphone to the head.
Oh, sure. I would think they'd have to earn that.
Yeah.
I've threatened them physically where I'm like, come up here, I want to fucking kill you. I want them to come on stage because I want them to take the first punch, so at least then I can go, he hit me first. But I try to get them to do it. I'm like, get up here
This
now.
is my favorite threat lately. I'll say, you know what? You guys are so bad. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to lock those doors. You fuckers are going to pay me to leave. This is a hostage situation.
I would like to get paid to leave. That would be awesome to make money.
yeah.
To get
I
us.
do this a lot, even when gigs are going well at the moment. I'm starting to eat food off people's plates in the front row. I don't know why. People think it's hysterical. Like, I don't mention I'm doing it. I just do it like, yeah, this is what you do. You start eating a mozzarella stick halfway through a joke, the audience are fucking baffled.
Are you able to hit your punchlines with a mouthful of fucking mozzarella?
I keep eating. I took a fucking quesadilla wedge in fucking Orlando.
You ate the whole thing?
Yeah, like a triangle of it.
What about cell phones? Do you ever take people's cell phones and just make a phone call?
what I do is
Put
cell
the
phones.
people on speaker?
No, what I do is I always text their parents. I like black cock or something if it's a girl.
I always used to call the grandparents because everyone has grandma in their phone.
But the best one is I take their phone, and the problem is a lot of people don't have it blocked for this. I take the phone and I ring my mother in Australia, and I've done it so many times that me and my mother have a bit of a rapport. Right, so now it's a long distance call. I said, "Mum, we're at a gig," and I said, "There's about 500 fucking people here." And I always say something like that, and she goes, "Don't swear," and everyone goes, "Oh."
You should add. Right. You should have her say like, "Grab those nachos in the front row."
so then, if the person was a complete cunt and they really deserve to have their phone taken, I put it on the speaker to the side of the stage. And people obviously think you've hung up. And then I do the rest of the show. And then at the very end, I take the phone. I go, "Mum, did you enjoy the show?" "It was very good." And so it's cost them like $60.
That's awesome. And your mom stays on the phone the whole time?
Yeah, she stays. Oh, she loves it. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to send my parents to Australia.
Yeah.
Just so I can do that.
Just so you can do that, okay?
Just get them a place there.
That's fucking awesome.
Have you guys ever done the Vinny Brands Club in the Stress Factory in New Jersey? Did they do the phone trick? When you
I haven't seen. I know the phone's there. I haven't seen the trick.
Did I ever tell the story?
No,
on
what's
here
the phone
about the
trick?
phone? They have a payphone on the wall, and Vinny
Back on the stage.
on the stage, and Vinny makes prank calls. What he does is he asks people, well, like before the show starts, they get like a piece of paper and they're like, "Give us a name and phone number of someone you want us to prank." And tell us your relationship with them. So Vinny's really funny at it. He'll call people on the phone and be like, "Hey, we got your brother here. We're down at something. He just got in a fight and he's going to jail and you need to come down here. He just broke a lot of shit or whatever." So Vinny does it. It's really funny. Years and years ago, Vinny wasn't at the show to open, so he had Julian McCullough, who was the MC. He's a really funny comedian now, but he had just started. Julian's emceeing the show, and Julian's got to make the phone calls. And they kind of work all the time. They're just funny no matter what happens. And he's just following the formula. And Adam Ferrara's headlining, and I'm featuring. And I'm standing with Adam Ferrara, and Julian makes a phone call. He calls the guy, and it's on the loudspeaker over the whole club. Everyone can hear it. And he goes, "Is this Bill?" And, "Yeah, Bill. Yeah. What's up? I got your brother John here. We're down at something club. Your brother's gotten in a fight, and he's broken a lot of shit. We need you to come down here and pay $800. And Bill on the phone goes, "What did he just fight a bunch of niggers?" And it's over the loudspeaker. And Julian goes, "You know what? You're a fucking racist." And he goes, and Adam looks at me and goes, "And now Eddie Ift," and like he's gonna bring me on stage and introduce me. And Julian goes like this, like, "You're a racist," and the guy goes. He goes, "And I'm not going to take this from you. I'm not even going to talk to you. Or we're not even going to honor your conversation." And the guy goes, "Fuck you, nigger." And I swear to God, Julian hung up the phone and goes, "All right, I'm just going to bring your feature act to the stage." So I've got to come up to the stage after this. And the audience is just horrified. So all I do is hit redial. And I call the guy back on the phone and I go, "Hi, I'd like to speak to the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan." And then I just start talking to the dude. And I'm like, "Are you fucking crazy?" I'm like, "You just fucking," and he's like, "Fuck you," like he's like, "Fuck my brother," and but it was like the whole crowd just came to like, what the fuck?
I got a couple of phone bits that I used to do. First of all, I'm going to tell, there's a comedian called Gary Delaney in Britain, so I'm going to give him credit for this joke, but he has a very funny thing when he says someone's phone ringing in the front row. Let's say he sees the phone ringing, right? He just snatches it, answers it, and goes, "Look, I don't know who Jenny is. I found this at the side of an accident. I've got to go."
That's awesome.
That's great.
That's awesome.
I did a thing when I was, my first ever Edinburgh show was called Porn Idol. And you know when you do your first solo tour, and it was all based around me doing a little tiny bit of porn once. But what I did was to work other things. To work everything into it, what I did was they have like phone sex lines in Britain, which are the same as the webcam things here, but they involve you ring up on a phone, right? So we hooked up the phone sex line on one screen. I rang a phone sex line, not the one that you can visually see, just a normal phone sex line, right? And we knew that the base was in Scotland somewhere, so they weren't far away from it. Then I had a big screen up. Sorry, I did this 10 years ago. I had a big screen up, and on the screen, I had a little clicker where I could make different phrases come onto the screen, right? So I made the audience, so I'd ring up a sex line, and you could hear it through the speakers, and I'd go, "You start sucking my cock," and she'd be like, yeah, I'm sucking your cock. And then like you'd click, and then the audience in unison would go, "That feels good, bitch," right? And she'd go, What was that? No, nothing. I'm just doing the thing, right? And I'd try to make him go, and it was like one of the best bits. It was so complicated though, because you had to have I had to have my sound guy calling while I was on hold, and then he'd go, "We're through," and then we'd, Anyway, so we did this, and then one time. Some of them were really nice. We could actually talk to them for a bit and go, "Okay, what do you really look like?" And they go, "I'm 50 years old. I'm sitting here in sweatpants and I'm fucking," you know what I mean? And but then we had this one girl who had obviously fucking just moved to the country, and they'd given her 6 sentences that she can say.
What do you mean? Like she doesn't speak English?
She doesn't speak English. So she was like, "Fuck me in my ass. I suck you," like this. Like she was doing that, right? And I'm there going, "Hi, okay, everyone stop. It's Jim Jeffrey. I'm Jim Jeffrey. I'm a comedian. We're in a thing. Please say hello to the crowd." Everyone's hello. And she goes, "Fuck me in my ass." Like she's just sticking to the fucking script.
Like she wasn't listening.
And then the next problem was, because I did this 30 nights in a row, the next problem was one time I rang up a sex line and this girl was fucking great at it. And I barred up a little bit. Right, so I get a bit of an erection. So I'm trying to stand like at an angle, like I started squatting down on the stage just to make it seem
like no one would see it.
You're so relaxed on stage. I mean, you're able to eat, get an erection.
Yeah. I
do porn sketches. I love your style.
Thank you.
Did you ever call when I was a kid, when phone sex lines first came out? It was the fucking greatest thing in the world, and I think I jerked off to it like 1,000,000 times. I was like, this is so cool. And then the bill came. And the bill came to my parents' house, and it was the most embarrassing time. My dad had to pull me aside and be like, "We have $700 worth of phone calls to these like 976 lines."
The ones in Britain are great. There's TV stations on the TV where you can call up the bird, and you're talking to a fucking model like that. And it's £1.50. Fucking bargain, man.
Gene here?
I need to piss. I need to do things.
Anybody see Gene?
Gene
Gene Pompa?
Oh, is Gene coming in?
Yeah. Gene Pompa drinks out of a Starbucks cup.
Yeah.
With the lid on it.
That's real
He
alcoholism.
just walks around town with it.
I once strapped a bladder of cask red wine to my stomach when I was at university, right? I put a belt around, and I was thin then, and I put the cask red wine, I put the belt between. Me and Andrew went out drinking because we didn't have any money to pay for drinks, so we were going to shove that under a seat and then get a glass of water, empty that out, and then go back to our little wine cask, like pretty fucking ghetto. And I was crossing the street drunk, and fucking the cops pull up, right? And what's under your shirt? I went,
How'd they know?
because I've got a big pot belly of the fucking jiggles as I run across the road, right? What's under the shirt? And I said, they go, lift your shirt. And I said, I'd rather not. And the girl went, just lift it, the female cop. And I slapped it, and it went, and I went, I'm a bit shy about it, to be honest with you. And they laughed, and then they just gave me a jaywalking fine.
Oh, they did give you a jaywalking.
Yeah, they gave me something, but I actually wasn't. It's not illegal to strap alcohol to your stomach as long as it's not.
I used to smuggle beers from one bar to the other, like when you'd go around bars, and I was like, I want to take my beer with me, so I just shove it down my pants, get into the next bar, and pull it out. And I was in a bar, and the guy's like, "You didn't buy that here," and I'm like, "Fuck you, I bought that here." And he's like, "You didn't buy that here," and I'm like, "Yes, I did. I fucking bought this beer here." And he's like, "We don't serve that beer." I was like, "Okay, you got me."
Another nightclub one. We were living in Perth, Western Australia. Now Perth. Nothing happens in Perth. There's some biker crime and there's some biker wars and all that type of stuff, but nothing. It's a pretty fucking sleepy place, Perth. It's a great city, but there's no real crime going on. And so when we were at university, there's about 6 of us all went out drinking, and then there was a couch in the foyer.
Wait, can I ask you about Perth real quickly?
Yeah.
I've been there once for a night. That's all I did was a night. And everybody talks about it like nothing goes on. It's a major city, though.
It's got 1 million people.
Yeah, that's a big city.
Yeah. It's a lovely place. I love Perth.
Yeah. So everybody always said nothing ever happens.
No, but there's no traffic, and it's very well mapped out, and there's no real crime going on. It's just a fucking nice place to live.
Is it like Adelaide?
It's better than Adelaide. It's more exciting than Adelaide.
Okay.
Anyway, so there's a couch in the foyer of this nightclub. 6 of us come out, and in our drunken revelry, we think, oh, there's no one here. And so we pick up the couch, and we walk out of the foyer, and we carry it like a block before we all realized, well, this is stupid. Because we didn't have a couch. We were like, we're not going to carry this all the way home. We need to get a taxi. We're on the other side of the city. So we just dump the couch by the side of the road and go, and fucking go home. Now, this is how little amount of crime happens in Perth. We're watching Crime Watch on the TV, right? They have the video surveillance of us all carrying the couch out on the telly, and we're thinking we might get dobbed in, but like every single person at uni rang us up and goes, "Hey, we're watching you on the telly."
So did you get caught?
No one ever did anything.
Cash,
Is that your first television spot?
Yeah, it actually was. That was
It's on
the
your
first
reel.
time- That was
It's on
the
your
first
reel.
time I was on TV.
Yeah, you didn't you write a book about like sneaking into places?
Yeah, I'm just finishing a book. I've snuck into hundreds of concerts and sporting
He's like
events,
an
Super
expert at
Bowls.
sneaking into places.
It's kind of there's a whole underground society of people that have this as a hobby, and I'm sort of the leader of the movement. But I've snuck into a bunch of Super Bowls. I've snuck into a lot of
What's the
concerts.
big secret?
Every single sneak-in is different. You know, I've been doing it since I was a kid. It changes as you grow older. I mean, it's changed now. I do it with my wife and my baby now.
Yeah.
I do.
Oh, I did it with my father at the World Cup in Germany.
Finals. Yeah, I did the NBA Finals. I've done Wimbledon. I was younger then. I acted like a reporter. I'm not. Real,
I've done the reporter thing.
I'm not real big on the imposter thing. I think they're prop acts. Really, I show up with nothing except myself usually. But I did do that one time.
I've done the janitor and the but we did it for a TV show.
Yeah, I'm not into the like costumes or anything like that.
It
I show
works.
up. It works better, but it's cheating. I like to show up and see what happens. My first Super Bowl. We climbed to the top underneath the stadium and climbed to the top of the stadium and
Climbed.
We met a guy that had snuck into every Super Bowl. He was about 65.
Oh, he's
years old.
famous, isn't he?
I think I think it might have been that same guy, but we met him. He was with his wife or his girlfriend at the time, and we snuck in under 2 different fences, climbed to the top of the stadium, and we saw him at halftime. And we don't know how he got in because he couldn't have done the climb we did. And he was like, he was alone. We're like, "Where's your wife or your girlfriend?" He's like, "Oh yeah, she got caught. She's they took her to jail." And I'm like, "Where are you gonna go bail her out?" He's like, "No, she knew the risks." It's a whole underground society of people that do it. I mean, I snuck into a concert. I snuck into the Who, and my wife and I were going through the forest, and this dude, like, all of a sudden we thought we'd been caught, but it turned out this dude was just crawling next to us in a trench coat. He had a tux on underneath. He was a limo driver that wanted to see the show. I mean, there's lots of people that do this. It's a lot of fun. And so I'm writing a book. I mean, I have so many, great memories. It's really one of the great things in my life. I enjoy it. And the older I get, actually, the easier it gets. Technology is the best thing that ever happened to sneak-ins. You get the cell phone, you can act like somebody's talking to you. You have these ticket, people scan it. That means they're looking down and focusing on the scan. There's not as many turnstiles anymore, which were a piece of shit. I mean, turnstiles were always difficult. Now you have velvet ropes where there's always a space between them.
We used to call it, when we did this TV show called Balls, where we had to like break into all these places.
Yeah.
We used to call it the bull rush. That was our first attempt. You just fucking try to just walk past as fast as you can.
Well, yeah, that's what I do for movies is I go into a slow jog. And I just jog past the ticket taker and nod. And they figure you were going to the bathroom or something. They'll never stop you, ever.
Didn't you tell me the backwards one too? Was that you? Because I've tried that.
Which one?
At the Adelaide Fringe Festival, sometimes they don't let you into the park, but there's people coming out. If you turn and walk backwards in the people that are coming out, and you just walk backwards, you can go right
slowly.
through.
You have to walk back. Yeah, you do that slowly. My favorite sneak-in, though, is very simple. It's walking up to a security guard or a policeman, nodding at them, and continuing to walk right past them. No explanation. It makes you feel like such a man. It's such a rush.
Yeah, you do get a rush from this.
And there's no technique involved other than you have the confidence to look at them and smile, and they're not going to ask you.
My friend that does this taught me this one too.
Just to finish, the best place to do that is a VIP entrance, because they figure you're somebody important and you know what you're doing, and they don't stop you.
Well, my friend has this one. He'll walk by, and as they stop him, he goes, "Not now!" and points in their face. And they're like, all right.
Yeah. I did a Stones concert where...
I got locked out of my HBO gig because I didn't have a pass, and the security guy didn't know who I was. It's true. And my face was on everyone's laminate. And I was like, can you remember what everyone's laminate looked like? Now look at my face. And I said, yeah, he had to ring someone to show a laminate, and then he held it up. Yeah. So I'm evidently not very good at it.
Yeah.
I had one. We were at the World Cup in Germany. I was with my father, and we bought some scalp tickets. But the tickets in for the World Cup are all chipped, and they have your name on them, and so they were German names, right? And we thought, all right, we'll just be. We didn't know that one of them was like a female German name. Like we didn't fucking know how to read it. And then they're going, this is not you on the ticket. And we were like, oh, come on, man. I said, everyone's buying them fucking secondhand. No one's got the original tickets. No one. And they put us into an office. They took us into the stadium, put us in an office, and went, you sit here. We're going to get someone to see you. And then all of a sudden, we're in. And so me and my dad just went, let's run. So we're running. Me and my dad, I'd never seen him do anything illegal before, and I'm running around my dad in all these hallways, and it was great.
That's the thing, the memories, that's probably one of your best memories of your dad. I mean, the best memories of my life were with people. The sneak-ins I've done alone are sort of soulless. I've done 2 Super Bowls alone, and I don't feel anything about those. You have to do it with someone so you have something to share it with, you know? So you do it with your dad.
Playboy Mansion's a good
your
one.
Son. I mean, when I had my son...
You sneaked into there?
How old's your son?
He's 1.5.
And you sneak into places.
Yeah,
with
I mean,
them.
just even
Good
holding
father.
him, even just holding him is a ticket right there. I mean, who would do such a thing?
No one's going to stop you.
Right? Who would do that?
You can get in the Playboy Mansion like that.
I've never done that. Yeah.
I've heard of some guys that did it. They did the tuxedos and did climb the fence. They went through and because when we were pitching our TV show, there was like a competitor that had the same show as us, and these guys we sold the show in 2000. It was pre 9/11. We were getting so good at it, we were going to sneak on a plane.
Nice.
We had plans on sneaking on a plane. We were like, because before 9/11 or even maybe after 9/11, No, it had to be before. I got on the wrong plane once.
I snuck on a plane once.
In
just to
Australia,
see-
you don't even have to show your
Yeah.
ID domestically.
No, but in America, I'm on a plane.
I snuck on a plane once just to see if I could.
I didn't sneak
Yeah.
on. I got on the wrong plane. There were
Yeah.
2 planes leaving LaGuardia going to Pittsburgh.
Okay, Eddie, I got to stop you here. Do you think your life is Home Alone 2? That is the plot line of Home Alone 2.
No. Here's
Home Alone in New York. When he got on the wrong plane, they were going to...
I'm at LaGuardia, and there's 2 flights, and one left like 3 minutes after the other one or whatever. But I get on the plane, and I guess they saw Pittsburgh on my ticket, and they didn't scan it or whatever. I get on the plane, and somebody's in my seat. And I go, dude, you're in my seat. And he goes, no, I'm not. This is my ticket. I go, no, look, I have this. And so I tell the flight attendant, she goes, oh, sometimes we do that. She goes, just stand in the back, and we'll find you an empty seat, and you'll sit in it. Sure. And I'm on the way to go to a friend's wedding that I'm the best man in, and the wedding or the rehearsals that night. The plane fills up completely. And as it's filling up, I'm getting angry. I'm like, this is bullshit. This is fucking wrong. You know, fucking fuck you, U.S. Airways. I got a seat. Why would you fucking do it? And I'm yelling at the flight attendants. And I'm like, I go, what happens if I don't have a seat? She goes, I don't know. You're going to have to get off the plane. I go, no, that's my fucking seat. I want him out of my seat. I'm going. And all of a sudden, somebody, and I'm in the back, like in the galley or whatever they call it. All of a sudden, I hear a flight attendant from the front. Is there a Mr. Eddie Ift on this plane? And I'm like, yeah, that's me. They go, you're on the wrong plane.
Oh, that's the walk of shame.
And I had to walk past everyone going, sorry.
I once got myself
that's
moved
embarrassing.
up to first class because I didn't go on with the expectation of doing this. I flew out to do a gig. It was when I went to do gigs in India. The guy said I might be able to get an upgrade. He's got so many points or whatever. And I flew out there first class. And I was like, fucking yeah, right? And then when I got on, I was flying back economy. But I had this first class attitude about me, right? And I went on and I said, this isn't my seat. I paid for one up here. And then I just went, I paid for this. I paid for this. And in the end, they just fucking moved me up.
Wow, the last time I flew home from Australia, I was in business class, and I'm flying home from Australia, and there's a guy next to me who sits in, and I think, you know, when you're flying 15 hours, this guy, you're going to kind of you spend a lot of time with this guy. So we start talking and everything, and he fucking goes and puts the sleep suit on, the pajamas, he fucking unloads all his shit, and he gets his speakers out, his noise canceling headphone, everything. Fucking unloads, sets up. We're about to take off, and the flight attendants walk up to him. They go, "Sir, this is not your seat."
Yeah.
And they put him all the way back in coach. And I was like, he was just shameless about it. He was
Michael McIntyre, who now is the biggest comic in the UK and is worth millions and millions and millions of dollars. He wasn't always rich because I once did Just for Laughs Montreal with him. And when we were flying back to Britain, he just chanced it. He just walked up and just sat in the fucking business class.
It's hard to pull off. I've done hundreds, maybe thousands of sneak-ins, but the business class, first class thing, there's a lot of luck involved. Like there's not a lot of strategies.
Because you're there for so long.
Yeah, and they just notice or they don't, and then...
Well, I tell you what, every time I travel with a girl, no matter what country we're going to, we're excited because we're going off to get married.
Oh yeah,
I do that. Yeah, I do that. Well, you always get like at least up to premium economy or something like that.
Well, I did that at every hotel I check into to get the best room. I'm like, my wife's coming in later tonight, and it's our honeymoon, or I'll say it's our anniversary, and then I'll say, could you give me a room that kind of makes me look like a good guy? And that works because they don't want to make you look like a bad guy. So yeah, you can do that too. But you do it for flying.
Yeah, I do it for flying. I do it at the airport. I always go, you act excited. So I flew back to Sydney with my girlfriend just recently, and I said, and then we got the good seat. Yeah,
nice. I try honesty.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Do you ever lie and you're upset when they don't congratulate you for the lie? Because I used that. I had to fly back early because of our anniversary, and they gave me the flight, but they didn't congratulate me, and I was pissed off the whole flight.
Well,
like you lied.
Well,
they lied.
This Qantas not only upgraded us, but they also gave us because she didn't have her visa for Australia, and they can do it in the computer at the airport, and it costs $60, and they let that bill slide as well because we were getting married.
I went to Kenny Kane's birthday this year. You know Kenny Kane?
Yeah.
Went to Kenny Kane's birthday party, and it was in a nightclub, and I had a hat on, and I'd like not wash my hair. It's something like I didn't want to fucking take my hat off. And the bouncer walks over and goes, "Sir, we don't allow hats in the club." And I go, "Well, I just had an operation, and I've got scars on my head, and there's stitches in, and I don't want to take my hat off." And he goes, "Well, you're going to have to." I go, "Did you hear what I just said? I have cancer, and I just had surgery, and it's not hygienic for me to take my hat off.
Yeah.
And also, it will look awkward, and people will stare at me." Yeah. And he goes, "Well, sir, it's our policy." And I go, "Get your manager," because I'm thinking this guy's too dumb. There's no way a manager is going to make me. So he goes to get a manager. He comes back. He goes, "The manager says you're going to have to take your hat off." I go, "Get the manager." I go, "I'm going to you guys are in big trouble. I have cancer, and you're making me take my hat off." And the guy goes, "Let me see it."
Oh, yeah,
and
I was worried about that.
I go, "You're a fucking terrible human being. You're a horrible person. And I really want to talk to your manager right now." He's like, "All right." So he goes to get the manager, and I see him talking to her, and she's like going, "I don't want to deal."
Yeah.
Like she doesn't want to deal, and she keeps going to him, "Go make him take it off." And so he just ignored me the rest of the night.
So you got in.
I stayed the whole night with the hat on.
I did an accidental sneak in once, an accidental one. I was at the Edinburgh Festival, and they have like a gallery there, and the exhibition that was going on at this time was all the Star Wars props, right? It was just fucking, Darth Vader's outfit and all that type of stuff. And what was meant to happen was you were meant to get in the bottom, and then you go up all the levels, and then you get a lift down to the bottom, to the top, and then you get a lift down to the bottom, and you're out. And I actually went into the lift thing, but I didn't know. I thought I was going into the right place, and all of a sudden I started at the top, and I went, "Oh, it's free fucking show, right?" And then I'm walking around and looking at all the stuff. I get down to the very bottom level, and I noticed that everyone's got a sticker on them. That's what your ticket is. You have to have a sticker on your shirt. And I realized that I've done this all for free. And the guy comes up to me and goes, "Where's your sticker?" And I went, "You don't need to see my sticker." And this guy didn't get the joke or anything, because I thought he'd have a laugh and just kick me out. Yeah. He was like, "Okay, like everyone, no,
we don't need no stinking stickers." I've run a couple races where I've done them bandit. They call it running bandit when you don't pay the entry fee.
Okay.
Because, you fucking run a race.
Just so cancer walks, that kind of thing. Yeah. You're that kind of guy.
Yeah. And so I wanted to run the New York City Marathon bandit, and I did Vegas Marathon
What's
bandit.
the advantage of the bandit thing?
You don't pay $130, or New York City's like $400 or something now, and I forget what it is.
It is weird paying to run that far.
Exactly. And so my whole thing was, but it's so hard to get into the starting area because they don't want, it's really hard. It's a lottery to get into the marathon. It's like 30,000 people, but like hundreds of thousands of people apply. So you don't get in, like your buddies get in, you don't get in. So I thought, I'll go run bandit, I'll jump the fence, blah, blah, blah. There's a group of guys called bandit catchers.
Oh my God.
And they don't catch you at the beginning. They wait till like mile 24 in Central Park on the hill where there's this big hill in Central Park where you're going up the hill where you're at your weakest point. And then they just grab
and
you.
And they shoot you with a dart?
Yeah, and they fucking pull you off after you've run 24 miles and they're like, "Fuck you." And so I saw an interview with the guy on the internet, because the New York City Road Runners, I think it's called, put it up. And the guy takes it really seriously. He's like, "If you think you can get by me, you can't." He goes, "I don't care. If you have, I even know if you have someone else's number, I'll catch you. I'll find you. You're not finishing." And people are like, "How do you feel about this?" And he's like, "No, they don't understand." And he hides in the bushes and he shows how, and they fucking come out from nowhere and grab you if you're not wearing a number. So I ran the whole Las Vegas Marathon without one. And I was terrified the whole time that somebody was going to grab me. But then I got so tired. I'm like, I hope
you didn't even.
Vegas.
You're the guy I want to talk to about this. I just gave someone some money for a marathon for cancer, and found out later she ran a half marathon.
Oh yeah.
So I confronted her. I go, she's like, "Same thing."
No, it's considered a marathon.
I'm like, no, it'd be the same thing if you did it on one leg.
No, but
it's not the same thing.
This is the bad thing about society. Why do Just give money to cancer.
That's what I
Why
was
does
saying.
someone have to run?
Why do we got to do
Well,
that?
It's a scam too. It's not a scam, but I have friends who've gone and they raise money for these causes, but they basically get a free paid trip out of it.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't want to fucking pay for your trip. You know, like
You had fun. You
I'm going to Hawaii.
I swear, there's when I'm going to Hawaii, I'm raising money. I'm ready to go, but like the whole catch is they raise money for it, but they also get a free trip to Hawaii out of it. And it's like that's kind of I'm not paying for
Yeah,
your
why don't we
fucking
just
trip.
cut out the middleman? We don't, save money on running shoes and buy microscopes.
But even-
you know, maybe
But even-
how about
even-
curing cancer for cancer? How about that?
How about cancer doesn't even exist? These
You know,
guys
I'm
have
start-
made up
I'm-
cancer
all
and
these
they're
walks,
making a lot
I'm
of
starting
money.
to think walking causes cancer. With all these cancer walks.
All right, that's enough to wrap up.
Jim called it there. Thank you guys for listening to Talking Shit. Thank you, Cash, for doing the show. Is there anything you want to plug?
Yeah, thanks for having me. You know, if you're when you're not listening to this podcast, Cashing In with TJ Miller, and we have a good time over there, and we'll give you guys a shout too. Maybe we'll do a little
Do you have a
Cross
cross
promotion.
promotion.
Facebook or Twitter? or
Facebook. I'm at Cash Levy.
Okay, are you? Is
I've
that
got
book? When's that book coming out?
I don't know. I'm hoping it's just getting sort of edited right now, so hopefully pretty soon.
If it does come out, I'm sneaking into the bookshop and stealing it.
And I don't know when this podcast is coming out, but I have some dates coming up. I'm going to be in Cincinnati at Go Bananas later this month. And
Tell Mikey I said hi.
I will. And then I'm going to be at Indianapolis later in the first week of July. I'm going to be at Roosters next week. So,
Jim, where are you?
I'm in the Briar Improv, June 15th to 17th. Louisville, Kentucky Improv, 22 to 24.
Tell Captain Bob I said hi.
And just a few things that are on sale now. My UK tour is on sale now, as well as the Edinburgh Festival, and my Just for Laughs show is on sale now as well in Montreal.
I'll be at the Improv in Hollywood on Friday night, this Friday. This airs Thursday, right? No? Oh, I was at the Improv Friday night.
How'd it go?
It was an okay set. It was there was
who
some.
said you couldn't go into the feature?
I was eating some guy's food in the front, and then I called Jim's mom, and it was a crazy show.
Yeah.
You can see me in Burbank, and June 21st, I'm at the Flappers, and then I'm never going on the road again. Australia dates, I'll tell you them next week. Next week, I'll give you all the Australia dates for August.
And also, I'm recording a new DVD in July in San Francisco, so I need a very good crowd. So some shitheads will be welcomed.
And my DVD is coming out in August, too, called I Love Pussy. That's the name of my DVD.
That's already a bumper sticker on your car, isn't it?
Yes. Thank you, Cash.
Thanks for having
Thank you, Mongs. Thank
Vegas
you.
show.
June 14th, Las Vegas. Come see us June 14th. And next episode, Gene Pompa is our guest.
Maybe.
No,
Talking shit. Talking